Alright, what's good, guys? A friend of mine sent me that. I had to put it in, but so it's been a while since I've been back, but finally posted another video, and today we're gonna talk about some studio stuff. I recently just set up a studio downstairs in my basement. This is it right here. It's run me a total about $200. It's pretty budget, but if you know what you're doing, it does the job. So let me know if you guys want to see a walkthrough of the studio and, like, you know, all the parts I use to kind of put it together. So let me know if you guys are interested in building your own studio and seeing how I built mine. But today we're going to talk about how to shoot this specific photo. Now this photo is a pretty good it's normal headshot, you know, for profile pictures, business settings. But although he's not wearing, you know, a business attire, he looks pretty good, and I'm gonna show you guys how to shoot this and how to edit this. Alright, so let's go into how I shot this photo. So here are some pictures of the setup I used. So this first flash, which is the one with the blue circle, is hooked up to a reflective umbrella, and this light is hitting a reflector that's propped up on a chair, and it's bouncing the light onto the side of his face. It's gonna give it a harsher but a kind of soft light, but it'll bring out all his features on the side. And then this next flash is hooked up to a shoot-through umbrella, which will give him nice lighting, just very soft light on his face to kind of just put his face into focus. Now, when it comes to shooting these kind of images, you have to understand you have to shoot it very dark. Here's a picture I took with none of my flashes off. It's basically black, so you have to let your flashes do all your heavy lifting. So I shot a couple of pictures. This was the one I liked, so let's jump right into Lightroom. Alright, so here in Lightroom we have the picture I shot. I just showed you guys how I shot it, my setup for the shot. The reflective umbrella, it just gave us this very chiseled look on the side, and this other flash that was on his left, I guess, gave him like a nice light, and you also get the catch light in the eyes as well, which should be a goal of yours when you're in the studio. So first thing, we're gonna mess with the exposure. I'm gonna bring it up just a little so we could bring out some of the brightness in his face. The next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring up my highlights just a bit so I can make his face pop. Bring my shadows up just a little, whites up, and then bring my blacks down just a little. I might actually bring my shadows down just a little as well. Highlights, I could go a little higher. So this photo is already starting to look a little better, but one thing I noticed is he was wearing basketball shorts when we shot this. I just wanted the top half, so I'm gonna crop down just a little. I'm gonna get the basketball shorts out of the frame. So now this is looking a little better, and as you guys know, I hit the clarity and all that stuff last. So we're gonna go down to the tone curve. For those of you who are not familiar with the tone curve, up here is your highlights and your whites, down here is your shadows and your blacks. So we're gonna do a basic tone curve adjustment. I'm gonna bring my whites up just a little, and I'm gonna bring my blacks down. So the reason we have to focus a lot on these blacks now is because we want to make sure that background is as black as possible. We want to make sure the blacks are deep, but not too deep where the photo starts to look too contrasty. So next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go into the HSL color sliders, and first thing I'm gonna do is go to saturation. Now his skin looks really orange, so I'm going to just tone it down just a little. So I'm starting like that right now. Yeah, that's looking pretty good to me so far. And then I'm gonna maybe bring his skin up just a little to bring some of that light back into the skin, some life back. And then this blue, I think it's popping just a little too much for my taste, so I just brought it down just a tad. So right now this photo is looking pretty solid, and you guys already know my favorite slider, the blue primary. I'm gonna shift it over just a little and bring it towards the orange side a little. So that just added a little more color, a little more completeness to the image. So now we're gonna go back up to the clarity slider, and I'm gonna bring that up just a little. It's gonna bring back a lot of detail. It's gonna make this image look a lot sharper. And then I'm gonna bring the vibrance up and bring the saturation down just a little, so we kind of give it that colorful but not too colorful look. I'm gonna lower the contrast just a little so we could bring those blacks down just a little. And so this photo is looking pretty good so far, but the only thing I don't like right now is how bright this part of the skin is, because it's kind of overtaking the image. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here. This is the brush tool, which will let me create a mask that will be editable, and if you see the red part is what becomes edited. I'm gonna select those two parts right there, and I'm gonna just bring the exposure down just a little so that we kind of even it out and his face looks less hot and less lit. So I'm starting to like this right here. And remember, with these studio headshots, you don't want to go too overboard, you don't want to do too much, because they can start to look a bit crusty with like the background and all that stuff becoming noisy. So you want to keep the edits to a minimum, and so far I think this is pretty solid. So here's the final picture, the before and the after, up on the screen. And hope you guys learned something, hope you guys are inspired to go out, take some photos in your studio. I will be posting a lot more stuff like this, so let me know if you guys are interested for seeing more studio portraits, more stuff like that. And make sure to hit like, share it with someone if someone's looking to learn how to edit and shoot studio portraits. Leave any ideas you have down below, and hit your boy up on Instagram, because this photo is definitely going on there. So thanks for watching, man. I'll see you all next time.